up, Spurs fans, near and far? Is back with your boy, Deji Spurs, and your boy, Sean from PR TV. Sean, it's finally arrived. I don't know about you, but I've spent 3 days watching some dusty football, and I'm just looking forward to tonight. Tonight is taking far too long, but we have got here, my brother. How are you feeling? Pre-match preparations, palpitations, all of that jazz. How are you feeling, mate?
I am so excited because, as you say, Tutankhamun levels of dustiness these last few days. From Friday night with Man United to Chelsea yesterday, and even even Liverpool took a while to get past lively Ipswich. So comes around. So maybe only Villa kind of impressed me. Yeah. And Brighton, but then they were playing Everton, and that's like sometimes that's like a gift. It's like a Christmas come early.
Well, it is. Another dusty team in my list. Everton's got to join that list of dusty. Chelsea, Man United. Man United shaking their bum. I watched that game against Fulham. What a disgrace. And that Eric Ten Hag came out with his chest pumped because he got a win. But really, they were as dusty as Tutankhamun, as you rightly said. Big up to everyone locked in, locked on. We are getting into it today. Arsenal fans shaking their bum in the chat. They were dusty as well, to be honest. 2 dry goals. I don't know why Gary O'Neill is shaking their bum saying, well, these are what title guys. They had the whole stadium rocking, really gassing them up. Get out of my face, Gary O'Neill. But before we do this, before we get into tonight, over the weekend, we're going to start with our club. Big up to Ghost. I am closing in on 2,000 subscribers. To be honest, I never thought I'll see the day, but big up to everyone that is subscribed over and been supporting the channel. So for me, Sean, when I look back, when I'm looking around at our club, I have to say, people haven't been showing us any respect. And I'm starting to wonder why. Because if anyone is doing what they're supposed to do, it's our club. Over the weekend, we got the news, that we are selling Oliver Skipp. Now, we've been taught that. Now, let me just caveat this. Skipp, I respect Skipp. He's obviously from the academy. He's come up. He's managed to break into the first team surroundings. And you know what? As a bit of a utility player, as a squad player, he does do a job. But obviously, the Spurs faithful, we've known for years that he isn't quite the mustard, the top 6 material that we're looking for. Daniel Levy has been criticised up and down. People says, but, Mr. Box Office will say to me, is Daniel Levy going to support Postecoglou? Well, this is support, mate. Selling Oliver Skipp for 25 mil. I don't know about you, but bloody hell, that looks like a lottery result to me, to my mind. But also the fact that we have got rid of so many, that's one of 9 players that we have, gotten out the door, taken off our wage bill. Are you liking the move, the intent? I think Skipp, maybe he might be hard done by. There's other players who could have gone before Skipp. But in terms of the message that is sending out to our rivals, Sean, are we sending out the right message from our club? Because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty gassed by what I'm seeing from our club.
I mean, I have to put it down to the new recruitment team and the coach. The coach has said from day one, I was brought in here to change things. Now, I think I actually saw somewhere that was maybe 13 players. Yeah. 13 players who have moved on. You think about it, Odobert, Lloris, Dyer, on the eve of last season, Kane went. These are like stalwarts of the team for the last 5 years, and possibly had stayed beyond their usefulness. Now, I never like to wish ill on any player leaving us, and I'll be honest today. I had a bit of a tear for Skippy. He has done what you and I would love to do. go up through the academy, 100+ appearances for our club, score a belter against Chelsea in front of the South Stand. You know, he's done all the things, boys' own stuff, and he loves our club, and that's clear. But he needs to play, and he wasn't going to get to play this year because the rejuvenation of this club is underway underneath our coach. Is taking it's like a train. It's like and we tonight you and I will probably have a bit of a discussion later on about who starts tonight, and we probably won't agree on the midfield. We'll know we'll be all right at the back. We'll probably 2 out of 3 up front, but in the midfield we don't know. We've got some talented young players coming through. We've got some players who've had a kick up their arse, and we've had that conversation about our friend from Mali, and Maddison, who's treading, running on empty a little bit at the moment, maybe needs something like tonight, returning to his old club, something to get him going, a bit of banter with the crowd, and he can be back again like he was last autumn. But I'm liking the look of it. What I can't get is the negativity in our fan base.
I don't understand it.
I just don't understand it.
Daniel Levy is doing what he needs to do. And, when you were listing those names, one of the first things I was thinking about is people talked about the dead wood, getting rid of the dead wood, having your imprint, criticism that I put on Arsenal, to be honest with you. 13 players have gone out the door. I don't know about you, but when I look at our team now, it's looking a bit ungified. You know what I'm saying? How many of those players started under Conte or Mourinho? How many left? What is it? Just Son and Romero. I'm trying to work out. I think
Romero hated Conte. In fact, if Conte had stayed, he would have probably gone to Real Madrid when they come knocking.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It just goes to show when you have someone decent at the head of the club. Now, I mean, it's such an easy take, isn't it? Say, he's not managed anywhere, blah 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 blah.
Or he's not been backed. And the thing,
we're the second highest spenders after Chelsea.
Come on, my brother. And also, we're clearing out the dead wood. Yes, I understand there's some concerns, but also it means that we are having faith in these youngsters. I think I saw that guy, Alistair Gold, mention, well, if Skippy's gone, that means Mikey Moore must be coming through. That's what it means, guys.
He has to be in the Europa League squad. He has to be.
Ain't that a good thing, no? That is bloody brilliant. That is genius. So for me, I think there's a lot of things for Spurs fans to be shaking their bum about. And I know what it is. We, the Spurs fans, Sean, and maybe I'm putting us in that bracket. Maybe we are spoiled. Maybe from the days where we were bringing in the Berbatovs, the Klinsmans, the David Ginolas, we've been used to getting names. But look at Chelsea down the road. What have names done for them lately? Nothing. Literally destroyed the club. I don't mind going down this route, the Danny Rose route, which is, if I have to Google the player, that means whatever. Whatever Danny Rose, I am going down the Danny Rose. I want to Google you. I'm quite happy to Google you because along with Skipp leaving, to our surprise, caught everyone by surprise, we brought in this kid, Odobert. Now, I look, a lot of people start shaking their bum about this kid. But the truth is, I watched Burnley and I remember seeing that boy thinking, why ain't Spurs got a winger like that? Because for me, he's Saka-esque. I'm not saying he's Saka. I'm saying he's Saka-esque in the way that he plays. He's quite dynamic, fearless. And he got a couple. I mean, the brother was 18, 3 Premier League goals, and he had about 27, 28 games in the Prem. That's all right. That's absolutely brilliant. And in fact, people have said that he's quite similar to that Doué character. I think that is clever business from our club, Sean. I think the motto for Spurs this season is where you guys do the obvious and shake your bums violently and get no results. We are just doing things in the quiet. I don't give a damn if you don't know our name, you don't know these players' names. we are going about it the right way, don't you think?
Absolutely, and Ange said it in his press conference there. I think an embargo bit to his press conference. He spoke on Thursday, but a lot of it only got released last night. And he said, "I decide who comes." He says, "I have little input into the process, but it's me that says yes or no." And that's what I want. That's what I want. I want the players to have the approval of the coach. And this boy's come along. His company's spoken well of him. His metrics are up there, and we're going down that stat road. And if you remember, how many Spurs fans used to go, "Oh, why have Brighton got that player? Why have where have they discovered this guy? Why, and now we're doing that, and it's not it's not
a big name. It's not a big
name.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's like, and then people said, "Oh, yeah, but why didn't we get him 7 weeks ago?" The brother was at the Olympics playing for his country in the Olympics. Nobody wants to sort out their thing when they're focusing on the Olympics. It's people just think, players, and players can say no. Players can say no. Maybe we wanted. I don't know. Maybe we wanted Eze, and Eze in the end has someone's had a whisper in here that City are coming for him, and he says no. And in the end, we just have to say, fair enough, that's your choice. And Ange would recognise that. He would say, "You don't want to come. I don't want you here."
Simple.
He says there is a he did the old hands. He said, the difference between quality and good is that much. He says. And if a good player wants to come to my club and the quality player is telling me I'm only doing it because there's no other option, I'll take the good player, he said.
Yeah, I respect that.
I think that's to be respected. That's to be respected.
I respect that all day long, man. I just love what he's doing. Arsenal fans are here shaking their bum violently. You haven't done what you've needed to do. We needed to bring in a winger. We've brought in a winger. We haven't spent 25 mil for this youth to sit on the bench. And you know what I loved? Sean, me and you were talking about how dusty the left-hand side was, I think in the last time we spoke. And I was saying to you, from my own personal opinion, or maybe I didn't say it, but this is what I've been thinking. Son is really the only left-sided midfielder we got. Because I don't want to see Manor Solomon. And I definitely do not want to see Timo Werner. In fact, I'll feed his end to Timo Werner. Do you get what I'm saying? Now we've got Odobert. Odobert, for me, if you want to rank the left-hand side, should be starting after Son. So when people keep asking me about the Spurs bench, why haven't you mentioned Timo Werner? I ain't mentioning Werner because for Werner to come on, Manor Solomon needs to be injured, Odobert needs to be injured, and Son needs to be injured, and that ain't going to happen. So he's given us strength on that left-hand side. The only drawback with Odobert, from what we're hearing, loves to go forward, but he's got a bit of Brennan Johnson in him. What's it with these kids that love to go forward but can't track back? That's my only issue.
Like we all do, we want the glory, but we don't want the
glory.
Yeah.
And that's why we can't have Odobert and Brennan Johnson on at the same time. We would be absolutely ripped to shreds if they don't.
I actually see them two on the same side. I actually see Odobert, because he can play either side. He can. I mean, he was even playing as a number 10. He scored a banger for Burnley against Luton in the opening game of the season, season. So playing as a number 10. So this is another thing that Ange wants. He wants players who aren't just position, just one position or not. I want players who can play in different positions. Yeah. And I mean, there are obviously you do want a 10 if you're going to be taken seriously, and that's Maddison. But there are players who can do his job. Bergwijn could do his job. This Odobert might be able to do this job. Who knows? Even Kulu could possibly do his job. Pre-season, he said. So we're building strength, and you know what Ange's system relies on? It's substitutions. And the thing he never had last season was that quality substitution to bring on at 60 minutes, at 75 minutes. Exactly. And I know you've been throwing shade on our boy Timo, but I tell you what, his son's leg saver.
Yeah, I
don't want Son doing 90 minutes week after week after week. He does in 75 minutes. He scored a banger. He comes off. Big round of applause from the Spurs fans. And Verma comes on with pace to burn and against a tiring fullback who's been given the runaround by our captain. Yeah. Brilliant. Works for me. Yeah. Works for me.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that works, And I just want to pick up on Anthony Clark's point. He says your squad is weaker than the last season. 4 youngsters, Timo Werner and Solanke. That's what you call an average window. I think Anthony Clark, that comment there just shows what you know of our club in terms of Spurs. It's not an average window. It's average on the face of it. And what we got to stop doing as fans, and Arsenal fans seem to do this a lot like Anthony Clark, is they look at the names. Pedro Neto might go to Chelsea and do absolutely nothing. And then Odobert goes in and scores 10 plus goals this season. Who had the better transfer window? So you can't make that judgment on my club until you see these fellas play. But anyone that knows football knows that this boy Odobert, what a player. For me, yes, he wasn't at the forefront of my mind, but when he came through, I went, I think I know this you. Is it the one I was thinking about? Then I thought, yeah, that makes sense. And if it can make sense for me, it should make sense for you. So I think Tottenham's transfer window has to be up there with the Villas. Do you know what I mean? Or, I'm looking at Aston Villa's window. Half of those brothers don't even start. What we have now is what you said, the quality now. Now I don't know about you, Sean, but I can breathe a little bit easier. I can breathe a bit easier in terms of our midfield and our attack. The issue for me is the back line. We don't have any cover at the back. So we definitely need to get a left back cover or even a left defensive cover, because the thought of Ben Davis coming in at left centre back, I'm not going to lie, it's keeping me up at night, and I don't really want to see that. Ben Davis, a loyal servant, but I don't want to be kept up at night. I want to be able to go to sleep with peace of mind. I don't know. Are you feeling the same? For me, I feel like that's the area now that we got to strengthen. Draguzin's cover for Romero, but who's the cover for Van der Ven? And you can almost argue that Van der Ven can cover Udogie if it was that way around. But yeah, that left-sided cover. Left centre.
Yeah, you need a player sort of the quality of a Tapsoba, but he's not going to come and sit on the bench. So, you just got to hope that they're at Hotspur way, they're tapping away on their computers and they're crunching their data, and they're finding gems in Timbuktu, as far as I'm concerned. As long as they can do the job, and they want to come to my club. I don't want players who are just using us as a stepping stone. We've had that before, and I want players who want to play for us and improve us. And I'm happy. There's always a sense of nervousness at the beginning of the season. Away to a newly promoted team, always a bit of a banana skin potentially. But I feel that they're a club in a bit of, they've got a bit of a cloud hanging over them PSR wise. They might get some points taken for them, and their strikers are all injured, I think. So they're so I think, it would be ideal for us to play for them. And I'd like to sort of give them a warm welcome back to the Premiership. The goalkeeper getting a bit of a backache, picking the ball out of the back of the onion bag. You know what I mean?
Well, let's get into tonight's game. So we've got tonight's game. Part of me is kind of happy that we are the last game this season. For the start of this new season. Because like you said at the beginning, the games this weekend were dusted in Tutankhamun. Sean, from what you know, because again, Anthony Clark, I think now it's fair to say Anthony Clark is trolling me, and I'm getting rattled by the comments here. Anthony Clark, you're doing a good job rattling me. He said we spent 40 million for Archie to sit on the bench, and I think part of the reason why Spurs were able to take the sort of stance we were able to take on Bissouma is the fact that Postecoglou, I've managed men's team on a Saturday. Sometimes when the fellas used to text me saying they can't make it, I used to be like, brilliant. That's one less thing to worry about in terms of selection. Because actually, when you have all these players available, the selection headache can truly give you a headache, if you know what I mean. So that's one thing to worry about. How are you? Let me tell you what, I was following We Are Tottenham TV. They put out an interesting lineup to tonight's game. So I'm going to give
All
you
right.
their lineup, and then I want to hear your lineup. But my lineup is definitely different from We Are Tottenham TV. So big up to We Are Tottenham TV, always locked in, locked on. They're good guys. So they've gone with the usual back line.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone with a midfield three of Bentancur in the 6, Kulusevski playing the 8, Madders playing the 10. It's so odd. They've gone with Brennan Johnson, Solanke, and Son. Now, for me, that just seems a bit weird. But I thought, let me give you that as the kind of... I've got my own ideas in how we're going to shape up. But does that make sense to you, Sean? Because that don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, the back five covers itself. You know, Vicario, the keeper, Porro, Van der Ven, QT, and Destiny. No, I can't. He had. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. You know, the thing is, Bentancur, let's be honest, had a really good second half against Bayern there last weekend, and he was certainly better than Basuma. So, you know, you've got one player ahead of Basuma, I would say, even on the fact that he's not really had a pre-season, but he then did go deep in the Copa America. So, you know, he's kind of kept himself in shape, and he's itching to get back into the team. The one thing about that three I would be concerned about is pace.
Yeah.
Is pace. Because I don't think Bentancur he's very good handling under pressure, but I don't think he's pacey. Kulu, no, he's not. He's got lots of other tricks in his book, you know, in his bag, but pace is not one of them. And I think he's too similar. I think he's better in where Maddison would be. So I don't see Kulu starting. Now, based on last season, you know, this time a year ago, you would have thought Sarr would have been in the thing, but I think he's had a bit of an iffy pre-season, to be honest, Sarr. So I'm thinking I can see Bentancur being the 6th. I can see Maddison, but the other place is up for grabs, and it could be that Bergvall gets it.
Yeah,
it could be that Bergvall gets it, or if he doesn't go with Bentancur in the 6th and he goes with Gray, who you know, that's the position he's made for. Then you could have Gray, Sarr, and Maddison. Maybe, I don't know. I do feel the midfield is the one that he's got a lot of booming and ahhing to do, and only he will know. He's seeing them every day.
Yeah,
but you know, he's had a look at the games and what have you. I mean, they all bring different tricks to the magic show. So let's see. But I do feel that the midfield three is going to be the one that's most difficult to pick. I would go with Johnson, Solanke, and Son up front. I would. Yeah, I would go with those three. Yeah. And you know, Kulu can come on from the bench later on, you know.
So for me, I kind of agree with you. It feels like there's so many permutations in terms of what we can do in that midfield. We know the back line is sorted. Son's going to be on the left. We know Solanke starts. I think Madders will have to start because he was talking about Madders if he's in the right right frame of mind, then Madders can be unstoppable. I just can't see Brennan Johnson starting, to be honest. The problem I'm having is that we know Brennan Johnson is actually better when he comes on than when he starts a game. You can see that he just he hasn't got the fitness to keep it going. The problem also I'm having is that he's kind of already indicated that Kulusevski isn't going to play on the right. Well, he hasn't said that. It's just that Kulusevski has probably said he doesn't want to play on the right-hand side. He prefers to play more centrally. But I can see him going with more old school with the view of bringing on players. So I think it's going to be Son, Solanke, Kulusevski on the right. And I think he knows he can bring on Brennan Johnson. Because I agree with We Are Tottenham TV. Kulusevski has been too good pre-season to drop. But is he going to play Kulusevski in the 10. That I can't see happening, to be honest. I think that's for Madders. So I think he might just lean to the right again with Kulusevski. And if it doesn't work, you bring on Brennan Johnson, which is what I would do. Safety first. I think I agree with you. I think Pape Sarr starts. I think he does Bentancur, Pape Sarr, and Madders. Simply because if you go with Bergvall or Archie Gray, you talked about pace, but one thing we know about Pape Sarr is the legs. He gives so much legs. And even if you want to start off tentative, because that's what he did pre-season. Pre-season, he always went with my kind of trusted, or your so-called trusted, and then he brought on the kind of energy, the flair of the youngsters. And so I think he starts tentative with the midfield that we all kind of know. And then as the game is being dry, dusty and Tutankhamun, then you can bring on a Bergvall if Pape Sarr's not playing well, if Bentancur's not playing well, even if Madders is not playing well. And now you can really switch it up, I think. So I think he goes safety first. Kulusevski, Solanke, Son, Madders, Pape Sarr, Bentancur, and then with the back line and Vicario. And also because we got to be thinking about set pieces as well. And the one thing that a lot of people have missed out on, people keep trolling us about Solanke. One of the reasons why we were so poor defensively, Sean, is because Kane was doing a lot of that kind of heading defensive display. One thing we've got with Solanke is he actually is good in the air. So maybe he's been asked to also help us out at the back, which is why we haven't been panicking. Because the amount of times Kane was saving us at the back, it was almost going unnoticed. And I think they've noticed that. And that's why, that's another reason why we brought in Solanke. So I think we go safety first and then we bring on the new guns. If not, like you said, Archie Gray starts instead of, obviously, because Basuma doesn't play. Bentancur plays the number 8. And then maybe it's Kulusevski instead. Maybe he drops Madders because Madders isn't quite up to form. It's a possibility. But what we have is options. NSG options. Last year, we didn't have no option. Now we are full of options. So it's really, really exciting stuff. And as you rightly said, there's no Jamie Vardy tonight. They are under Cooper. They've just brought in Skipp, who ain't playing, and they don't have a viable striker. If there isn't a better time to play Leicester at the King Power, how the footballing gods have looked down on our club with so much love and delight, because Leicester are about to get whiplashed. I could see Ghost 888 in the building talking about 5-0. But, you know, Sean, prediction for tonight's game. I can't lie to you. I'm shaking my bum violently. I can see Tottenham being top of the league after tonight.
So we're looking at a 5-1 win.
Yeah, yeah. You're
saying 4-0 win. Yeah.
You're giving them one.
Well, you know, it is Tottenham, and it is Tottenham. That's the issue. We're you know, I mean, unless there's some financial incentive given to those defenders about clean sheets, I'm not so sure. But I can see them getting one, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe a consolation for Weeksy.
Hell no. Hell no. There's no. If we let Weeks score tonight, I might bang my head against the laptop. I might bang my head and hurt myself against that laptop. Spurs Die Hard TV, big up to them. Adrian in the building has gone with the same lineup that I have gone with, which is that Kulusevski reverts back to his normal right-hand sided role. So I think that can happen, but we have options. There's different things. It just feels, Sean, that there's so much we can do with this squad. Even Richarlison can go out on the left, you know. At Watford, at Everton, he was getting his goals from the left-hand side. He wasn't just playing in that number 9 because it was Calvert-Lewin playing in the 9. He was coming in off the left-hand side. So we've got options, and that's what we didn't have last season. Once players were out, there was, like you said, the cover was whack. This time round, it feels like we feel like a squad. We feel like a...
I mean, just think about it, right? You need someone to close out a game. and that player was never in among the Sundays Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It just wasn't. I mean, I remember the 2 games against City at our place, and he tried to outdo himself by giving Kevin De Bruyne shots on the edge of the box with ridiculous passes across the penalty area. Yeah. Oh man, it's
no, that's real.
So I have faith in anyone that's picked tonight to do a better job than Pierre, and good luck to him at Marseille as well. So it's I mean, just wish for Spurs fans are a bit more confident, a bit more.
Maybe we need to help them, Sean. Maybe we need to help them. Maybe some Spurs fans are not doing enough. And, the rival fans seem to know more about our club than some of our Spurs fans. Big up to everyone that's locked on. And I want to talk about that. So Postecoglou has come out to talk about the fact that in season 2, he tends to win the league. In every country that he's gone to, he has won the league. Now, I'm not here shaking my bum because I know a lot of people are expecting me to do the unthinkable and say Spurs are going to win the league. But I will tell you this. In terms of tonight's game, it's not financial advice, but I think Spurs win 3-0. I've also captained Solanke in my fantasy football team. Don't be surprised if Solanke gets a hat-trick today. I swear to you, if Solanke gets a hat-trick tonight, it is game, set, and match for the league. I am telling you, this brother opens up the scoring today. Solanke scores, and he could get a brace, but I think he gets a bloody hat-trick because for me, Leicester City aren't going to attack. It's low block, and low block. And I think we've got the players to unlock that low block.
Oh, and their defenders are dusty.
Yeah, dusty.
Oh my God. I mean, good God. You compare our central defenders with theirs. That's nice. Oh man, the Belgian guy. Oh
yeah.
Oh,
they've not replaced their guys. They've lost.
He's like a Belgian David Luiz. And same haircut as well. Oh.
It is over for Leicester. They're getting mullered. So I think it's the perfect game. And I think Solanke does score, man. I think even if he doesn't score, the Tottenham team is just going to be too much for them to handle. Big up to everyone. Look, we're just going to pick up on some comments. Sean, there was a comment here by someone. It was addressed to you. Let me just quickly find it. I think it was Tekken. Tekken says, please ask Sean if he remembers the last time Spurs had a season without European football, and where did they finish? Did he mean a season with or without? I'm not sure.
I mean, if it was without, it was last season, and we finished 5th.
Yeah, exactly.
with a brand new coach, with the fact that our record goal scorer left us the day before the season started, and so I mean, that's certainly the last time I remember us without a season without European football.
Yeah, of course. And, so you must say with European football, when was that? Was that under Conte?
Yeah, against when we finished 8th. Yeah, that's when we finished 8th. Yeah, that's why we weren't in Europe. So yeah, they didn't finish with Conte because Conte obviously handed his notice in the press conference room at Southampton. But it's So that's the last time that we had European football. But then that was on Conte. I mean, look at Conte. Look at Conte, the win now manager. Look what happened to him at the weekend. His Napoli slapped up 3-0. 3-0. And he's already thinking, I'm out of here. Oh my God. This is a playbook I've seen before. It's so good. So good. I mean, I like Conte. I mean, to be fair, in his last season, he suffered an awful lot of loss. He had his own health issues as well. Yeah. But when he started having a go at the fans, that's when you lose it.
That's when he lost the plot.
You don't have a go at the fans, and it doesn't matter. But what what the fans think of you, you should never turn on the fans because you'll need them.
Yeah,
you'll need them, and that's why I on PRTV I always call him the Turin troll because he trolled us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had to go at us. He had to go at us first before he had to go at the football club. And everyone, going, oh, what he said was right. It might well have been right, but he
you don't do that.
He
he wanted to leave.
unprofessional.
Yeah, he wanted to leave, and so he did everything to piss us off. Yeah, he did everything.
He had his system, which he, oh God, getting players in, getting the under-21s to come over and just act as cones. Oh, yeah, that's not coaching. That's not coaching. No wonder our youth academy nearly got relegated before winning everything last year. Because he's
it was dusty. Yeah,
he was dusty, and same as Mourinho. Mourinho thinks he can just G up players, and by having a go at them and prodding and poking them. It doesn't work. And he's finding out in Fenerbahce. He had a tough introduction to the league as well. There, I think they drew 2-2. Yeah, and the Fenerbahce fans stone the chairman.
Because he's dusty. I don't know what they were thinking. These guys are not the same as what they were back in the day. And that was the point that I've been trying to make for months. But, you're right. I'm just picking up on this comment here, a couple of comments there. We talk football saying, Deji, at least we're linked with Locatelli and Gomez. I think if we get Gomez, that is a great signing for us. I think he's...
Is that the Wolves Gomez, yeah?
I don't know, because there's two Gomez. So there's the Wolves one, who I think is quality, but even the Liverpool one is cast some doubts. The centre back.
Oh, the centre back. Yeah,
he's also. Yeah,
I have to say, I'm not feeling the Locatelli love.
No, I don't.
Brother's too slow. He would get eaten alive in the Premier League.
I don't want to see for us. I don't want to see this brother. But I'll take João Gomez from Wolves. Or I would take Gomez from Liverpool, because he can play left centre-back or right centre-back. He would be perfect cover. So
he even played left-back for Liverpool last year, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think he's quality. He's a London boy. I think he came out of the Charlton Academy system. So it would be like coming home to Spurs. So I don't mind that. We've got Young Smoke talking about my hairline, Turkish settings. Yeah, mate. I'm off to Istanbul in January, February. If you want to come with, man, for me to sort out the hairline, then you are more...
You're going to go with a job lot with expressions.
Come and join me on Turkish Airlines as I get the thing done. I'm more than welcome, my brother. Liam says he already knows the lineup. I know a former Premier League footballer who has connections in the club, and the training session to prepare for the game had this lineup. What's the lineup?
Come on, Liam, share it with us.
Is that what we just shared, or is it? Because I can't see that. So, Liam, can you confirm what the lineup is? I've gone with Kulusevski.
Oh, maybe he's saying your lineup.
Oh, maybe he's confirmed it. Okay, cool. If it is, then brilliant. Ghost has gone. Kulusevski's best position is a 10 or a false 9. Yeah, but even if that is the case, he's not going to start over Madders in the 10. They're going to give Madders that respect, and Solanke has to start. He's our £65 million striker. There's no way first game of the season he's going to be on the bench. Even just on the optics, it don't make sense. Anthony Clark talking about our bench again. Also, Dej, don't forget Richie will be sitting on the bench. Another 60 mil wasted. I disagree. What that shows is Tottenham's strength in depth. The fact that we've got 60 million, I would love... Richarlison is available for tonight. I was just coming back from injury. And the problem we had was when Richarlison was playing the number 9, if he's injured, we were forced to play Son up top. Now we've got Richarlison coming on, getting up to speed. I actually think this season, Solanke's going to have a run at number 9, and so is Richarlison. I don't think number 9 is definitely for Solanke. I think it's for Richarlison and for Solanke to battle it out, and Postecoglou is quite happy for that to happen. And that, for me, just shows, again, the strength in depth that even the Gooners, if Havertz is not playing up top, they've got Jesus. Can you imagine? That is dustier than Tutankhamun. Jesus. Crikey. I can't believe these brothers are shaking their bum. And I've gone far as to... So Liam has actually got the team here. He's actually said it's going to be the back line, Sarr, Madders, Bentancur. He said Johnson, Son and Solanke. So Cooley does not start. Wow. That is a biggie. Sean, how do you feel about that? If Liam is right, are you surprised that we dropped Kulusevski? Johnson starting ahead of Cooley. I mean, Johnson starting. Yeah, that's a mad one.
Well, I just don't think Cooley's. He's not that right wing. He's just not that right winger. So he has to play indoors, and he can't. He can't displace Maddison at the moment because Maddison's got things to prove. I mean, as I say, the only thing I have a wee bit of a concern about, and I accept everything you say about that Sarah's got legs to burn, and he does do a good job at covering Porro when Porro gets caught upfield. But
yeah, he does. That's why Sarah.
That's when Sarah is really at his, on his game. But I do see that as the team. Yeah, I think Liam may have something there.
He may.
And even better, a fired up Kulu coming on against tired legs of Leicester. Love it. Yeah.
Hugo is saying though that he says that the Swedish outlets have said that Bergvall will start. If he starts again, it speaks to Spurs. Could you imagine if Bergvall starts? That speaks to Spurs' strength in depth. If we can say we got Madders on the bench, that's like Arsenal having Odegaard on the bench by choice. Arsenal wouldn't dream by choice having Odegaard on the bench, but we can do, because for me, Madders and Odegaard are on par when Madders was on form. I granted after Christmas he dipped, but when those 10 games when Madders was sourcing, nobody, and I mean nobody in the number 10 could touch the brother. And I'm just hoping the brother comes out tonight sourcing the way he started last season. Because if we can have Madders sourcing and playing like he did this time last season, it is long for everybody. And now the chances that the Richarlison was missing doesn't get missed by our brother Solanke, who's going to be playing up top. Big up to everyone locked in, locked on. Big up to the Big D. Oh, look, it's exciting times. These teams are dusting and shooting Carmoon. Can Spurs be top of the Prem tonight? And I'm not going to lie to you, Sean, that's the bit I wanted to talk about quickly. Postecoglou is basically going for it. He didn't say it in so many words, but he basically said, we're involved.
Yeah, he said, he did when it was put to him by the journalists. He said, in our second, in your second season, you go on to win titles.
Yeah.
Even when you were at Yokohama and you'd finished 18th place the season before, you went and won the league.
Yeah.
He did. He said, well, I can't deny the facts. They are the facts. He said, I know that we're better prepared this season. I know that we've got new players. We've got some players who've had a year with me, and they know what I expect. They know what I expect of them. They know what's expected of them.
Yeah.
And we'll go out to do the best that we can. He never said I'll win the title.
No,
but he didn't. You can see there was a glint in the eye. He's seeing. He wants to see progress. So for me, I'm happy. Fourth, third, second, whatever. He probably wants. He probably wants everything. He probably wants. He'll want to win everything.
He wants to win it all. I think he wants to win it all. And if you look at the squad depth, it's looking nice. Big up to everyone locked in. Please make sure you smash a like. It really helps the channel grow. Sean, before we go, Mr. Box Office, thank you for turning up, because we were basically quoting you, and you've turned up right on cue. He says, here we go again, Sean. Then you're going over the top about Spurs. I'm just walking at the end of the season. How can you get excited by this bang average squad?
Why is he leaving at the end of the season?
I don't
know. Why?
Basically, he's saying that we're going to have a disastrous season, and I can't see it happening. The one thing I like about Postecoglou, he was calm last year, and there's a sense of calmness. Like, he also basically said he expects Tottenham to finish better than what we did last year. That just breeds confidence in me. The fact that he sees something in our squad, because he's with them every day, like you said, he's looked at all the other teams around the Prem, and he's basically saying he's expecting top 4 or higher. You don't need you from the face of it. I understand what Mr. Box Office is saying. Bergvall, no one knows much of him. Mikey Moore, no one knows much of him. Blah blah blah. Kulusevski wasn't great last season. Brennan Johnson, dusty. Timo Werner, dusty. Do you know what I mean? Manor Solomon. But I think the way he's built this squad, it's better to have a squad, just like what you were saying, Sean, that is all 7s out of 10, than to have 3 or 4 players of 9 out of 10 that gives you nothing. And if you remember the Leicester squad that won the league, they were pretty bang average. Let's be real. I was remembering that, is it Simpson fella? Imagine Simpson, he won the Prem, he's got a Premier League title.
They had one tactic. One tactic that no one told Ranieri to changes his tactic, which is get the ball long, hit it over the head, and get Vardy to chase it. That was their tactic. They rode their luck as well. I mean, it's like, what the...
Hey, Sean, he's coming for us. He said, stop twerking.
Country me. Country me. Why?
Hey, you know what, Mr. Box Office? When Spurs are top of the league,
you ain't bantering me, mate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When
I'm nervous.
Just know, just know we'll be drawing you out. We'll be drawing your best friend out as well, Sava, and all those cronies who are negative about our club.
I mean, Alex has a sofa ticket as far as I know. He goes to every game. Why? I have to ask the question, why? He goes there for misery. I'm sorry. Football is not about
He goes there to hopefully say, I told you so. No, this season you won't be telling us jack. I have it down now for all of you. It's not financial advice, but I'll be putting a cheeky tenner on Solanke to get a hat-trick tonight. I can't see that dusty Leicester team winning or scoring a goal. I think Spurs go there and wins 3-0. Could even be 5-1 like Ghost. In the unthinkable though, Sean, I think we should just for the people in the chat. Big up to everyone locked in, locked on. Almost 100 in the chat. Big up to everyone locked in. In the unlikely event that we lose tonight, let's just consider it for 1 second.
Yeah.
How are we that team is dusty. I can't lie to you. I mean, I can't see it happening, to be honest. No striker, Cooper. They're already talking about it's calamitous. He's coming under
Leicester fans are giving it to him 3-0, 4-0.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, Leicester, I think I agree with this brother here. Leicester are getting cooked tonight. And it's going to be long, and we'll see our club top of the league. Tekken says Romero is off to Madrid too. Yeah, maybe next year, but for this season, he's with us, and we are going to be on fire. Slick AFC is an Arsenal fan. Luckily, no one takes you seriously, Slick AFC. He's gone with a Leicester win 2-1. That's never going to happen.
No, isn't that Spurs 2? Leicester 1, yeah.
Well, I think, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, Leicester are on the one side, so
wants to lose money. We've got diehard saying, look, the way it seems, a lot of the Spurs fans are feeling what we're feeling, which is like we're probably going to be top of the league, and rightly so. No one start bantering me. We're top of the league after day one. I don't give a damn. Okay, I do not care. We got to do our job right now. We're near the bottom. Yeah, we haven't played. So if we are top of the league after game one, I will shake my bum violently for it. I don't give a damn what anyone.
Basically, we need to win by 4 goals to go top of the table.
Is that what it is? We got to win by 4.
Yeah, because Brighton won 3-0. So
yeah, come on, Spurs. Start us off strong. Let's go out and lay a message. Sean, we got the game tonight. Hopefully, we'll win, and then we'll catch up. Hopefully, after the game, where hopefully we are singing as the Spurs go marching in. Yeah. Big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on. Thank you for joining us. I'll be doing a watch along. of the game. Sean, if you want, more than welcome, but I don't want to disturb my fellow Spurs supporters.
I'm with my homies in Glasgow Spurs in a bar in Glasgow tonight, so I'll be watching the game there. So
when the celebrations come, just record some of that shaking of the phone and that 10,000 times and then get the goals in. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, all right, okay. I'll make sure I've got my phone charged up. Yeah, for a a few clips from Malone's tonight.
Yeah. Swamp, I'll answer this before we leave quickly. He says to me, how many Spurs players get into Arsenal starting 11? I would say 6 Spurs players. Udogie, Van der Ven. Pedro Porro is better than Ben White. I don't know why you guys shake your bum for literally punching Judy at right back. I mean, you must be dustier than Tutankhamun. I would still have Solanke over Havertz all day, every day. I would have Son over Martinelli, and I would have Bergvall over Odegaard. There you go. 6 players from our club. Sean, are you in agreement? Is there any others you like to throw in there?
I don't know. I think they've got a very good side, but certainly, yeah, Son's better than Martinelli, but now, I mean, every Arsenal fan wants Van der Ven. I mean, you know, from Don Robbie downwards, they'd rather have Van der Ven than what they've got. Yeah, I think Udogie's going to be the best left back in the world shortly. So, yeah.
100%. Ashley Cole. He gives me Ashley Cole vibes, but
yeah. I think it's yeah. Well, you know, they've got a few years on, a couple of years on us. You know, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Vindaloo, I got Spurs to finish 3rd, but don't be surprised if Spurs finish higher, mate. Really, don't be surprised. Anyone would be foolish to think Spurs are not going to finish in the top 4. So for me, guaranteed top 4. I've got Spurs for 3rd. I've got Spurs to finish above Liverpool. You've heard it here first, live and direct, before we've even kicked a ball. Spurs will finish above Liverpool and will push Arsenal, if not overtake Arsenal, if you guys are not careful, or if you guys suffer the sort of injuries that United, Newcastle, Spurs, Liverpool.
I mean, they were so lucky. What injuries did they have last season? Unbelievable.
None. Let me tell you the injury. It was Partey.
Or Timber pre-season. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
that was it. They never had any. The central defenders played right through.
The whole. They didn't miss one game, I don't think. Saliba and Gabriel.
Yeah. So you know, an injury to them, and as we saw, remember when they lost Gabriel and they had to play holding.
I don't even know what he was holding. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he was holding on to Son's shirt for the penalty for a start. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yeah, that was it, and that led to the goal. Remember? Yeah,
and then he gave away, and then he decided, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going to take an early bath. You know?
Tell me about it. Tell me. No, but you know what? I'm excited. Big up, everyone. I'll be back later. Sean's going to be down there with the fellow Spurs fans in Scotland, up there in Glasgow, getting ready. I'll be on from about 7:30, half an hour prep. I'll be going through the starting lineup. Maybe Liam's right. Maybe Liam's not right. We will soon find out. And then we'll have the watch along. Hopefully then we will dissect. Just know, though, if Spurs win tonight, I will be on Football Terrace with my match reaction, and it will be shameless. I don't give a damn what anyone's telling me. Week 1, here we go. And we are out. We are out, Sean, I think. Big up to everyone. Thank you.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.